This broadcast is not for the weak-minded. This is the War Room with Owen Schroyer.
I have a doozy, a whirling dervish of a broadcast lined up for today. Potentially my biggest single stack of news that I've ever had in my history here at InfoWars on the news desk that I'm going to be getting into. Another huge stack of news. And then huge developments, not only in the Mueller investigation, obviously Trump getting rid of the Iran deal, but then the Schneiderman case. There is so much to be revealed in this Eric Schneiderman case, you're not even going to believe it. This ended up being a rabbit hole. This ended up being a key to understanding everything that's going on right now to try to bring Trump down. And it shows you not only the hypocrisy of the left, but also how they're all in cahoots together and knew all of this was going on the entire time. And it's the same names and the same faces that we've been reporting on before. But yesterday I started off the broadcast with something that was uplifting, something that was good, something that was positive. So I'm going to do the same thing today before we get into the muck that is on the other side. This is a young boy, and again, I was listening to this on the Alex Jones show earlier. I'm sure that there's a lot of people out there that have a similar experience with someone in their life that was told that they wouldn't make it very long, they wouldn't live past a year or many years, and then they ended up doing just that and ended up being an inspirational story to their friends and family. So here is Miracle Boy comes back to life after parents signed papers to donate his organs.
Ago, Trenton was at a friend's house, sitting in a small utility trailer like this one, while being pulled by a dune buggy. A day of playing soon turned terrifying.
And flipped, and I hit the concrete, and the trailer landed on top of my head. After that, I don't remember anything.
Trenton was rushed to USA Medical Center. He had 7 skull fractures.
And all I saw was a stretcher with his feet. They actually stapled that side shut so they could get him back breathing, but he was dead a total of 15 minutes. When he came back, they said he would never be normal again. They told me the oxidation problems would be so bad to his brain that he would be a vegetable, even if he made it.
For the next several days, Trenton was brain dead and barely breathing. His parents faced with a difficult decision. They signed the papers to donate his organs.
5 kids needed organs that matched him, and it was unfair to keep bringing him back. Because it was just damaging his organs even more.
But a day before doctors were set to pull the plug, Trenton started coming back. He believes he was in heaven.
I was walking down. It was more like an open field, walking straight. There's no other explanation but God. There's no other way that I could have came back. Even the doctor said.
Slowly but surely, Trenton is making strides beyond what anyone expected.
All right. He's a miracle, and he just amazes everybody. Every day he gets more.
And now Trenton will be an inspiration for all his friends and family and anybody that meets him. I'm sure he'll tell his story for many years to come. And it's just incredible. He even speaks of God and walking through heaven. Just really uplifting stuff that you think humanity would see and be inspired by. But you have to wonder about a hospital that would pressure parents into just, saying, hey, look, your son doesn't have a chance. Just donate the organs. He could save other people's lives. Well, that didn't happen that day, and Trenton lives on to inspire probably millions of people, I would bet you, is the life he lives on to lead. All right, when we come back, we're going to get into the muck of all of it. Trump out of the Iran deal, Mueller getting totally exposed for trying to set up Trump, and then everything that's revealed in the Eric Schneiderman resignation. We'll be right back. It's Tuesday, May 8th, 2018. This is The War Room. I'm your host, Owen Schroyer. Huge developments today. On one side of the aisle, you find
Accept no no substitutes. Demand truth. Demand InfoWars. InfoWars. Tomorrow's news today.
Well, we've got this whole Schneiderman situation, who's the right-hand man of the incredibly corrupt governor, who has his other corrupt brother that works over at CNN. And we've got Schneiderman, who is caught right dead center in the fact that he's the guy in charge of the whole Harvey Weinstein cover-up. So we have that situation, and it just shows how incestuous and out of control the Democratic Party is, and he's now resigning over all these women coming out saying that he basically beat them up, slapped them around, sexually assaulted them. Well, that's what these gangster thugs do. And the guy is just a creep fest even looking at him, but who do you think covers up for all this stuff in New York? People like Schneiderman. We've got these really creepy videos coming up. Steve Watson's got an article about it on Infowars.com. This didn't age well. Samantha Bee described Schneiderman as a superhero who could stop Trump and his sexual abuse. Isn't that just classic? Isn't that just amazing? Now, that said, that's a big piece of news. It just shows the incredible hypocrisy of these people. But the even bigger news when we come back is something we already knew. It was in the court records. It was in the CPS records. It was in the Department of Family's records about a week after the Parkland shooting back in February. And the media would just say, it's not true, it's an Alex Jones conspiracy theory, it's a Fox News conspiracy theory, that Nick Cruz was in a leftist program that even if you commit all sorts of crimes, if you are a minority, I guess because he has the name Cruz, he's supposedly Hispanic, even though he was adopted, didn't look Hispanic to me, but whatever, or black, or Asian, or anything else but white, you don't go to jail. And they had denied that he was part of that. But now the Sun Sentinel, WJCT-TV, they're all reporting it's confirmed. What's the future of Broward County's Promise Program after news Nick Cruz was referred there and was part of it? Stoneman Douglas shooter was assigned a controversial Broward County program, officials admit. He was put into this in 2013. He was allowed to say, I'm going to kill people, I'm going to murder you. He was known as Mr. School Shooter. And then there was a stand down that day. Now, what they do to our videos the week of the attack with eyewitnesses and local news reports saying they stood down. YouTube deleted them. CNN called for us to be banned and said that we said no one died. And now they're in the Washington Post claiming that I said, not just that Emma Gonzalez was a crisis actor, which I didn't say, but that I blame some other woman in another state and that I need to be sued. Total defamation, total fraud by criminal media. The only thing that can surpass the evil and outright corruption of the globalist, of leftist, of communist around the world is their incredible hypocrisy, their legendary fraud, where they say that rich people are bad, but they're the richest people in the world, and set up tax-exempt programs for themselves where they have diplomatic immunity. And part of that arrogance is that they're constantly caught in brutal sex crimes against men, women, and children, whether it's Harvey Weinstein or whether it's Bill Clinton. And now you have New York's AG Eric Schneiderman, the right-hand man of the gangster kingpin, Governor Cuomo, and his hit-and-run drunk-driving brother over on CNN. Well, Mr. Creepy Eyes has all these credible women coming forward saying he would beat the living daylights out of them and then sexually assault them. Well, that fits into the thug